Well, hello, my beautiful viewers on my channel, James Higgins Open World. What I've got for you now is James Higgins Mysterious World, episode 10, the last episode. We're here. And it's been one hell of a ride, hasn't it, ladies and gentlemen? It certainly has. Well, tonight's episode is a few different stories. The first story is a time travel story. Here on my channel, James Higgins Open World, and my episode, James Higgins Mysterious World, episode 10, the final episode. Right, let's get to it. Right, my wife and I experienced what could be a time slip yesterday on the new A14 east of Cambridge. We were driving in the rain and we could see a sunny clear sky ahead of us. We had just entered the area and I put my sunglasses on when suddenly the entire sky was dark and cloudy. Thinking it was my glasses, I took them off. I turned to my wife and asked, where did the sun go? It just changed in an instant. We were both confused and looked around. The clear sky we had seen earlier had gone completely. It was as if we had moved back about 5 minutes. We could not stop talking. I'm puzzled about it. Wow. Wow. Hey. Wow. Can you believe that? Hey. Wow, here on my channel, James Higgins Open World. My episode of James Higgins Mysterious World, episode 10, the final episode. 1 second, we'll get to the next story. Here's the next story. A time-slipping kitchen and elevator from the past. Right, here we go. Right. I have had 2 time slips. The first when I was an 11-year-old. I was looking through my house window at home, hoping to see Mum. Instead, there was a man wearing brown trousers and a white shirt stood at the kitchen sink. Then I noticed that the kitchen was different, very old-fashioned, with what I know now as a Belfast sink. I entered the house only to see that the man had disappeared and the kitchen was back to its 1979 norm. As a young boy, I was convinced this was a ghost. Fast forward 39 years and I was walking up a street after parking my car to go buy some lunch and noticed a very old elevator with metal folding doors in a small factory. I had not even noticed the factory before, so I walked over to investigate. There was a man operating the elevator dressed in a brown work coat similar to you find in old hardware stores, and a few people already in the The operator said to me, "Are you getting in or what?" I did jump in and the elevator went up a floor and everyone alighted. The operator then asked me if I was getting off. "No thanks, I need to go back," I replied, and then I alighted back on the ground floor and made my way to my car. After crossing the road and opened my car door, I turned to look at the factory and it was no longer there. Instead there was a row of shops and cafes. This was in broad daylight during my lunch hour, and certainly not a dream. Only then did I realise that this was similar to the man and the sink when I was a child. Just cannot stop thinking about it now. How can you imagine that? Can you imagine happening to you? Bloody hell, eh? Eh? 1 second, we'll get to the next story. Well, here's the next one. The next story, just 1 second. Hey, big Jesus. Right, here we go. Road trip to a time slip. Here we go. Here we go. Sometime around 1974, I was driving from Madison, Wisconsin to Bayfield, Wisconsin, a distance of something more than 300 miles and a 6 or 7 hour drive. As is my habit even today, whenever I can do so, I kept off the primary highways in favour of country roads. I had made the same trip several times before, and I had a consistent route. This is far north on this road. then west. A few miles on that road, the north again, on another road then, you get the point. Because I had made the trip before, I knew three things: which roads I was going to take, how long it would take to get from one to the other, and the total time for my trip. On this day, however, my best laid plan went all catty wampus. That's what must be a saying in America. At some time during my trip, I suddenly found I was on a northbound road. I had not intended to take, a road I had never taken and would not have taken under any circumstances. I also found that I had lost something more than an hour. That is, given the amount of time that had passed, I should have been an hour further north than I was. Sounds almost like an alien abduction, doesn't it? But I don't have any mysterious implants in my body, and I don't remember poor me having had a sexual encounter with a comedically alien female. You know, you get the picture. It does sound a lot like an episode of Highway Hypnosis, but for several reasons I don't think it was. Just one second. Right, sorry about that. Highway hypnosis. With highway hypnosis, you do lose a sense of time passing, but in this case, the amount of time exceeds typical highway hypnosis loss of time. I was not on a road with which I was familiar. I did not remember driving during that loss of time. During the time lost, I did not have peripheral knowledge of anything that was going on around me. Was not even aware of anything furthermore. When you're driving the back roads of Wisconsin, you must stay alert because you never know when you'll top a rise and be faced with a slow-moving tractor pulling a manure spreader. If you're not paying attention in that situation, you'll soon literally be in the shit. Well, he gets it to the point, this guy, doesn't he? Hey, well, what do you make of that one, eh? This episode is about time slips and time travel. Hey, what do you make of that, eh? Hey, way. Oh, he could have been in the shit there, couldn't he, eh? Couldn't he, Paul, lad? Hey, get in there, Paul. Right, let's get to the next story. Right, here's the next story. Here on my channel, James Higgins, Open World. On the last episode, this is, of James Higgins' Mysterious World, episode 10. The last episode, I reveal. Ancestral Memory. Good title. We were en route to Israel and were in a small cathedral in Austria. John Malcolm was directing the singing. It was beautiful. I looked up and saw small balconies surrounding the second floor. I had a flashback of myself standing on the middle balcony, dressed in clothing of what I would call the Renaissance period. I was more than likely a servant. LOL, laugh out loud. Seriously, it was heart-stopping. I never believed in reincarnation, but it opened up my mind to the possibility of maybe it was it being one of my female ancestors I have a connection to at a time. Just something to ponder. Well, that's supposed to be about time travel, but I thought it was a page. Anyway, that's another story. It's got a time thingy to it, because, you know, was he reincarnated? I don't know, but anyway, sorry about that. But anyway, it's in there. It's in on this episode now. James Higgins' Mysterious World, episode 10, the final episode. Just 1 second. Just 1 second. Right, this is a good one. This is a good time slip story. Quite a famous one, this. I don't know if I've done this on my two series, but I'll do it again just in case. It's a good one, this one. They're all good. The Vanishing Hotel. In 1979, two couples were driving through France on holiday. Jeff and Pauline Simpson, and Len and Cynthia Gisby, looking for a place to stay near Montélimar. They found a motel but were told there was no vacancies and that they should try further down the road. So they set off and soon found themselves driving down a cobbled street. They paused to take an interest in an oddly old-fashioned sign for a circus. Soon they came across a long, low stone building, an inn. The couples went inside and were shown to their rooms. The windows had no glass in them. There were just wooden shutters, and the furniture was basic. There were no pillows, no telephones, nothing remotely modern, no lifts. After eating a meal of steak, eggs and beer, they retired to bed. Just 1 second. At breakfast in the dining room the next morning, they were struck by some bizarrely dressed individuals. A woman in a silk evening gown came in, carrying a dog. It was strange, Pauline said. It looked like she had just come in from a ball, but it was 7 in the morning. I couldn't take my eyes off her. But policewoman wearing uniforms later identified to date from 1905 also sat down to eat. Wow, just 1 second. Later, paying their bill, the couples were astonished when they were asked for just 19 francs, just over £2 to cover their stay. 2 weeks down the line, on their way home from the holiday, they decided to stay at the hotel again, but it was no longer there. And developing the rolls of film they'd snapped with their camera, all the negatives of the photos they'd taken at the hotel were missing. Baffled, they returned 4 years later again to try to locate the hotel. They never found it again. Wow, you making that one, eh? Here on my channel, James Higgins, Open World. And this episode of James Higgins' Mysterious World, episode 10. And that's the final story. So there you go, that's series 2 over. And series 3 is in the pipeline. So there you go. You've got my email, so send me some paranormal stories or time slip stories or wherever. Here on this channel, please. And you could appear on the next series. On the 3rd series. You've had James Higgins' Mysterious Universe. This is James Higgins' Mysterious World, episode 10. And there will be a 3rd series. There's 10 of the first, 10 of this one, and there'll be 10 of the next. So, I hope you've enjoyed it, as much as I've enjoyed doing it. And a big thumbs up to all my subscribers. I love you all. Thank you very much for watching James Higgins' Mysterious World, episode 10. Please subscribe. Thank you very much. Bye.